Hello. Okay, today we'll be talking about hardware environment and emerging technologies with me and I. Alright, beginning with hardware environment to enable implementation of software solutions. One of the main factors as a software developer to consider during the implementation stage of your software solution is the hardware environment, which just simply means what the hardware requirements will be in order for your solution to work successfully and effectively. Main considerations include the minimum hardware configurations, possible additional hardware, and finally appropriate drivers or extensions. When considering minimum hardware configurations, it mainly comes down to the target audience your software solution is designed for. Software such as Premiere Pro, Microsoft Word, Visual Studio, and Unity, these all have minimum requirements displayed that allow users to see what those minimum hardware requirements are. When inspecting a system requirement, we see that hardware-wise, it shows the minimum is required for a CPU, RAM size, graphics cards, storage size, and even sound card. A possible hardware configurations is when additional hardware is supported for a software solution. However, it is not required for the operation of the software. For example, a software solution might be made for a Windows computer where the user would use traditional controls over keyboard and mouse to operate the software. However, the software at a later date might come out with a support for VR to use the software, meaning that VR is the possible hardware configuration, as the VR itself is not required for the software to function. However, it is supported by it. The main advantages of this would be that it broadens your target audience, potentially lowers your level of entry to use the software, or even make the software more inclusive. However, one of the two biggest disadvantages that stops a lot of software developers from doing this is time and money, where it requires the software developer to spend time understanding how the hardware extension works and how to utilize it within your software solution. If the software developer is able to overcome these obstacles, there's often a big payout. Similar to possible hardware configurations, appropriate drivers/extensions allow for an external hardware piece to be implemented into a computer. An example of this would be if a person's adding a network adapter into the computer. In order to connect to the internet wirelessly, one of the steps that he may need to take would be to download drivers for a network adapter, so that it is able to properly communicate to the computer. As a software developer, making sure that the user is able to easily access drivers for hardware that is required for your software solution, as well as making the processes easy as possible.
Trends change in every area, from fashion to education, every day. Similar is the case of software development trends. In fact, in the era of digitalization, software development is one of those fields which is changing at an extremely fast pace. Every year brings some brand new surprises for software developers. 2018 was a year of complete acceleration for the software development companies worldwide. From blockchain to artificial intelligence, software technologies have remained a hot topic throughout the year. So because there isn't a sufficient amount of information about Australia in relation to the IT industry, we'll be focusing on the US and mostly the international scene. Anyway, according to a report by Gartner, a research company in 2018, the IT industry has seen dramatic growth. It has also forecast growth of 8.3% in 2019. The exact figures are on screen. The reason behind the growth of every industry majorly depends on the innovations introduced in that field. No static industry can see such remarkable results, and this is the hard work of full-stack developers that we can view some awesome changing trends in this industry. Every year, restyling and enhancements in software product development technologies are creating new trends. New technologies such as blockchain are getting a larger market constantly. Lastly, according to a report by Statista, global blockchain technology worldwide is predicted to increase dramatically from the year 2016 to 2021. Undoubtedly, many other trends alike are predicted to skyrocket in interest and usage within the field of software development. Artificial intelligence involves developing software that thinks intelligently in the same manner as a human. Today, companies providing machine learning services and solutions are on a boom, and more businesses are shifting towards AI as a necessity. It helps to improvise the tasks and increasing the business in the software market. It has reached the fields like healthcare, education, banking as well, which has widened the scope of constant experiments by web app developers. Blockchain has gained its popularity with Bitcoin, but now it's widely used in banking and finance, media and publishing, and healthcare software development services. Simply, blockchain technology relates to simplifying banking transactions like transferring money by creating a single ledger for different parties. All these services need blockchain software, which is why a large number of blockchain developers would be needed to serve in this sector. The advantages and growing opportunities in this area have made more companies to extend their arms in blockchain development services. If you think of web and software development as an approach similar to building Lego blocks, what you will get would be something known as low-code development. In a world where standards, policies, regulations, and procedure keep getting updated from time to time, standard coding practices make the process of adapting slow for companies and IT developers alike. Low-code development is a solution for all these problems, and in the absence of complex code, which requires expertise, it can help clients understand their project in better ways, and perhaps enable them to perform customizations on their own. Low-code development is a huge boon for enterprise software development, and at the same time is a crucial aid for companies seeking digital transformation. As technology is flourishing, it is essential to focus on the quality of your code and language trends. Then the need for the year 2019 is to have a special eye on the development approach as well. As mentioned previously, low-code development is also on a rising trend in the software industry. This means that even non-technical employees can be hired to program software by information technology companies. Even software or web development companies might have clear development approaches and structures to provide coding to their software. This task type should decide the coding quality and structure solely for the best outcomes. Most of full-stack developers are using JavaScript to program their software. The popularity of this language is due to its great adaptivity for hybrid applications. It is essentially vital to choose the correct language to avoid any kind of repercussions in the later stage. There are various surveys that let us know about the popularity of different languages. In a Stack Overflow survey of commonly used libraries, frameworks, and programming languages, Node.js scored 49.6% and Angular scored 36.9%. Some other popular libraries, frameworks, and languages are React, .NET Core, Spring, etc. The graphical representation of these findings is on the screen to the right, sorry. Web applications are different from regular mobile apps. You can understand it as a hybrid of web applications and mobile applications. They work on a script called Service Worker, and it's their integral part. They are faster to load and provide some amazing features like push notifications. Progressive web apps are easy to develop and maintain. That's why many mobile app development companies have focused on them in recent years. Security is an issue in every parameter of human life, and this issue spreads its presence in all sizes of business as well. Data and software loss threats have become a major part to look out by custom software developers. The image on screen shows the data that has been lost or stolen industry-wise in 2017 by a report published by Wipro in 2018. This report is evidence that almost every industry is facing cybersecurity issues, and they all look upon the software industry for support, which makes it a trendy service requirement in the IT sector.
Outsourcing, a trend that Australia is very familiar with. The global outsourcing market is rising every year and has tremendous trends. A survey by Statista shows the global market size of outsourcing services. A graphical representation of the same survey is shown on the screen. This gives a clear picture that the outsourcing market is on a rising spree worldwide. IT industry also has many outsourcing projects as business owners prefer outsourcing developers rather than hiring in-house developers. Industries in almost every area in the age of digitalization have a high demand for full-stack developers to look into their software needs. From e-learning software development to financial software development, software requirements are rising with every passing year. IoT app development is the latest advancement in software development, which has its effects spread at both the consumer and industrial scale. The technology that essentially binds that all technologies together is said to witness an exponential demand across the domains of safety and customer experience. As per PwC, a professional service network, estimates over 90% of automobiles will be IoT enabled by the year 2020. Such a degree of connectivity and control is expected to deliver incremental efficiency in fields of transportation, logistics, and supply chains. Cisco's former researcher David Evans' calculations give an idea about the reach of IoT over time. Over 127 new devices are connected to the internet every second. This adds up to every growing number of IoT devices globally, over 23.14 billion devices as of 2018, with the number expected to rise up to 26.66 billion by the end of 2019. The twin technologies of augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, combine to form what we call the mixed reality. One of these twins, AR, has been witnessed an incredible amount of growth over the years thanks to its integration on smartphones. Undoubtedly, the reason why AR and hiring AR developers is so popular and why companies are scrambling to have an AR application is primarily because of smartphones. AR apps don't generally require hardware with high specifications as compared to its twin technology. Romney says that demand for VR has saturated since the explosion in 2016, that its scope doesn't extend beyond entertainment and gaming. However, its effective utilization by the US Army and Walmart, among others, doesn't seem to indicate so. Amongst that seems to have lost confidence in VR app developers. Some have been able to find the best uses for this technology. While Walmart plans to use VR in 2019 to train its employees in customer service and compliance, the US Army is already using Microsoft's HoloLens mixed reality tech for military training purposes. These trends very clearly give the idea about the constant research and development that is taking place in this industry. The software development is working at a full and same pace all over the world. The one thing that every developer must keep in mind is that change is vital and inevitable. Every software development or software consulting company must focus on the evolution of the industry and follow the same trend to become a leader. And some links, good links. And that's it.